Okay, happy Thursday. Welcome to another stretch session. And my hip is predominantly healed, so I think we'll get a little bit more active in our stretching today. And Baltazar is going to help, I see. Okay, so next Sunday, July 12th, will be my next Zoom workshop. So information about that is at derekbarris.com/yoga, where you can also find all the schedule information, the playlist information, and the donation links if you're so inspired to donate for these classes. I think this is the 46th class now, and I have a feeling we'll probably hit 100 the way things are going. So let's just keep moving. And that you can also sign up for my newsletter on the website at Substack, and members who sign up for the weekly Monday newsletter, which is just for subscribers at $7 a month, also get access to the workshop every month. So consider that as well if you enjoy taking a little more detailed and private classes. The archive of all the workshops is available just for subscribers there as well, and every Monday it is a newsletter which features original writing and reporting that I do as I work on my articles and book on psychedelic therapy, wellness, and mental health. So you can check all of that out on the website. I'll leave it at that for now. We're going to start standing today for our stretch session. So like I said, just a little bit more active. And you're going to come up to the top of your mat or your space and bring your feet about hip distance apart. And we're just going to start with a little breathing exercise in some half salutes. As you inhale, stretch your arms up. And as you exhale, forward bend over your legs. I want you to think about sort of an undulatory movement in your spine. So as you inhale, roll up to stand, and as you come up, then stretch your arms up. And the same thing, as you exhale, drop your arms, your head, your neck, roll back down through your spine. So 4 more, inhale. You can close your eyes here, and just again, consider this rolling movement. Exhale through your entire body as you go down. 3 more. Last 2. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And last time, exhale, fold. And bring your hands to the ground, fingertips or blocks, pedal out through your feet. Really try to drive down through your feet here as you go side to side for a couple rounds. And then come to a flat back. You may have blocks under your hands or be on your fingertips as I am, or even palms. And then just bend your knees, push your sitting bones back, and then exhale, straighten your legs. We'll do that 4 more. Inhale. And exhale 2. Bring the weight forward in your feet as you straighten. Inhale, bend. Straighten 3. 2 more. And 1. And then bend your right knee. Bring your right hand down in the center of your feet. Stretch your left arm up. Easy twist. Release and switch. So your left knee bends. Again, you can be on a block or your fingertips or your palm. Whatever works. So we're going to do 2 more rounds, just kind of flowing that side to side. And 1 more round. Bring your right hand down. Stretch your left arm up. Take your left hand behind your back, maybe to your lower back, maybe to the inside of your right thigh. And then keep your right hand, fingertips block. Start to roll your left shoulder. You can let your head hang here, just a couple shoulder circles. And reverse directions. release your left hand down. Switch. Bend your left knee, wrap your right hand around, and just circle your right shoulder. And reverse. And release down. Start on the left side. Step your right leg back to a lunge. Lower your right knee to the ground. Walk your left foot out a little bit. And coming in towards a lizard position, bring your palms down. And then take an inhale. Pull your heart forward. You might want to walk your hands forward a little bit. As you exhale, soften your elbows. Your forearms may tap down. They may not. Inhale. Straighten. And tap. So again, don't worry about getting to the ground. We're just warming up here. 2 more. And 1. And then this time, let your right forearm come all the way down. So you're on your right forearm. Your back knee is down for a moment. Take your left hand to your left thigh. Press it open. Now you can tuck your back toes and straighten your leg. You can also lift your back knee on the top of your foot if you want to get an ankle stretch. Just take a few breaths there. A little pulsing might feel good here. It doesn't have to be a completely static stretch. Good. And then bring your left hand back down. Walk your left foot out so it's even with your right hip, and then come basically into a side plank position. Not a full side plank here, but you're rotating your right hip down. Okay, so now we're on the outside of our right foot, outside of the right leg. My hip is up though. Just press that left hip forward and then lean back and breathe here. One more breath. Good, and then bring your left hand back down. Oh, hi, Balthazar. Come back down onto your hip, all the way onto your hip now. So we're in this leaning lizard position in the side plane, and then we're going to make it all the way into a spinal twist from here. Ready? You're going to take your right hand down, and then your left foot stays down, and then bring your left shoulder to the ground. And then take your left arm, roll onto your right shoulder, extend your left arm forward, and then roll back into the twisting movement. And just play with that. So my left foot staying down is just kind of anchoring me here. And then so really it's in my midsection getting this twist. Feels kind of nice. We'll take 3 more. I've been up since 4:30 because this little rugrat here started licking my head. Yeah, now he wants to be cuddly. He's very needy today. 2. And 1 more. Okay, and then come into the twist and just close your eyes. Take 5 breaths here. It should feel kind of nice. So if you want to amp it up just a little bit, push your left knee away from you. Right, so you get into those left rotator muscles a little bit more. But really for me, it's just nice to feel this twist in my midsection. 3 more breaths. Think about it, you're halfway towards a reclining pigeon, and we're going to go all the way there. So you scoot yourself in, your ankle is crossed, bring your right knee in, and we're in reclining pigeon. And avoid the cat on your mat, of course, and breathe. If you want to stretch your right leg up, or take a different variation here. We're only here for few moments here, but just enjoying being on your back for a moment. Keep your left foot flexed. Take about 4 more breaths here. Nice. And then bend your right knee, put your foot down. Oh, he left. And then right shoulder down, and then drop your knees over to the left using your left ankle and your outer right thigh there. So getting a little outer right thigh stretch. Two more breaths. Okay, lift back up to center. We're going to come back the way we came. So you're going to drop your hips over to the right, left foot down, extend your right leg. Left hand down, come up onto your left forearm, right forearm. Right, and then from there, we're just going to rotate, come back up onto your right hand. And from here, lift up, down dog, and just pedal back. And if you want, stay in your down dog, pedal. If you want to come through a flow, roll out, plank pose, chaturanga or knees, chest. Take a breath in a back bend, cobra or up dog. And back to your downward facing. And meander, great word for this movement, side to side as you step your right foot forward, left foot forward, just incrementally making your way up to a forward bend at the top of your neck. See if you can let your neck relax as you come forward. And eventually making your way into that ragdoll at the top of your mat. When you're ragdoll, feet about hip distance apart, soften your knees a little bit. Take opposite elbows over your head and try to keep your forearms over your head. Inhale, find a flat back. Come all the way up to stand, nice and slow. And then reach your forearms behind your head. Stretch. As you exhale, let it all go. Drop down. Take the opposite forearm on top. Inhale, flat back. Pull up to stand. Stretch your elbows back behind you. And exhale, let it go down. Good. Soften your knees and step your left leg back into lunge. Lower your knee to the ground. Walk your right foot out and bring your palms down. And then walk your hands forward just a little bit and soften your elbows and straighten your arms. So these little lizard prep movements here. Keep your gaze fixed on the ground, a couple inches or a foot in front of your hands. So your neck is long here as you move through this for 2. And then 1, and bring your left forearm all the way to the ground. And you're on the top of your left foot. Try not to rotate your left hip yet. Take your right hand to your right thigh and just press a gentle twist here. Push your hip away. And again, if you want to up level it, tuck your toes or top of the foot, lift your left knee up. And breathe. Or little micro movements in the hip might feel nice here. Two more breaths. And then tap your knee down if it's up, right hand down. Walk your right foot out from the left hip. And then before we come all the way onto the hip, again, right hand to your thigh and just push away here. Again, little movements might feel nice here, just getting in there. You can lean back a little bit into it, into your right shoulder. And then you're gonna just kind of slide back and down into it all the way onto your hip, and then slide down onto your left shoulder. And then that right foot is out from your hip here and your knee is pressing open. You're gonna open up into this twist. And then take your right hand and reach it across. And then we'll do that a couple times. Just working this twisting movement. 3 more. For 2. And And 1. Let's hold here in the twist. And you can, again, isometrically push your knee away. Get that top outer thigh a little bit more stretch. And then really, again, the midsection here is what I'm really enjoying here for the next 4 breaths in this twist. And the thing about this, honestly, I only use for stretch sessions, I'm really only using the mat mostly for marking so that I know where I am with the camera. But otherwise, I would just cross my ankle and roll right on my back to that pigeon. And I think I'm still in frame, so I'll do that. I'll stay like that. And then breathe here. Oh, hi, Balthazar. He's very camera friendly today. And staying in your pigeon. All right, so this whole space, you can see, it's sort of our dining room area, which has now become my yoga studio. Normally, I would just use it all, right? Rolling around in all of it. You can stretch your left leg up if you want to intensify the pigeon at all. We got about 5 more breaths. One more breath. Keep your right foot flexed. And bend your knee. Put your foot down. Ankle is crossed. Bring your knees over to the right, stretching your outer left thigh. Two more breaths. Okay, retracing our steps, going to down dog. Back to center. Stretch your left leg out. Bring your right foot down. Excuse me. And you're going to roll across. You can just slide back here, even easier. Come into your cobra or up dog. And back to downward facing. And pedal out through your feet. Okay. Let's do a little shoulder work here. Come out to plank. Come to your belly. And let's do a little spider work. So taking your fingertips off of your mat, just you kind of find the width that works for you. Elbows are straight up. And then think of your elbows touching your ribs. I always think of this as an accordion movement. As you inhale, lift up into spider cobra. Wrap your elbows in. Exhale, lower down. We'll do 5. Inhale. Exhale, 2. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. You can really squeeze your glutes here. Inhale. Protect your lower back as you come up. Exhale, 4. And 1 more. Inhale. Release 5. Make a pillow for your head. Shake out your tailbone for a moment here. And then come up onto your forearms for Sphinx pose. Now in your Sphinx, press the top of your feet down. Pull your heart forward. And breathe here. 5 breaths. Option. Again, squeeze your glutes. Protect your lower back. If you want, straighten your arms out. Tap them down 1. Or you just stay. We'll do 4 more. Inhale. 2. Nice flossing inhale for your shoulders here. Don't worry about locking your arms down. Not the point. 2 more. They may only lift an inch. Totally fine. For 4. 1 more. Inhale. And 5. Come back down. Take your left arm out to a T shape. I'm going to use my block here for my head. You don't need it, but I like having it so my neck can relax. Right hand under your shoulder. Lift up. Roll over onto your left hip. Right foot behind you. There's a lot of different ways you can do this. You can bend your right knee, you can take your right arm up, you can reach back towards your left hand is more intense. I think for me right now, it just feels nice to let this pressure sit on my left hip. I'm sorry, my left shoulder. So I'm just going to breathe here. And you can kind of use your right hand, unless your right hand is lifted, use it down to kind of push and release into it a little bit so you can change the intensity. Take about 3 more deep breaths. And use your right foot, push over, and we'll go to the other side. Take your right arm out and roll across. Okay. And again, I just like to kind of pulse for a couple and then hold in the intense position. Nice way to prime the shoulder. And we'll take about 4 more breaths here. And release back to center and let all that go. And just relax here for a moment. See if you can just, in this prone position here, let your body completely soften into the floor for just about 5 deep breaths. Slide your hands back, push up, and come to sit on your heels. If you can sit cross-legged if you would like. We're going to do a little shoulder movement here, but it's also nice if you can take this ankle stretch. It'll be nice. And you take your arms out so your palms are up to start. All right, so it's going to be a little side-to-side movement. You're going to take your right thumb, turn it down, and then rotate your left thumb in the opposite direction. So turn it behind you. All right, and then go to the other side. So it's rotating your shoulders in opposing directions here. One going internal rotation, one going external rotation. You can move your head however you'd like if you want to get your neck involved a little bit here. Just a couple rounds here. And then release. Roll that out. So I'm going to go thread the needle on our shoulder under from a table position. And the most common way of doing this is bringing your shoulder all the way to the ground. You can do that, but I'm going to offer a slightly more engaged version. Right? So your left hand is right under your shoulder. So instead of dropping down, you're going to slide your right hand through, but only the top of your hand is going to come down. And then you can bring your left arm out. Now the key here is actually pushing the top of your hand down and then rotating your left elbow up. So 5 breaths. It's a much more active version of this twist. It's not the feel-good drop down. It actually feels a little bit intense here, and that's what you want here. And take 3 more breaths. Try to rotate the right side of your chest up. Now from there, let your shoulder come down and your head. And then breathe here. And now use that lever of your left arm to turn up a little bit more intensely. You can also take your left hand up or behind your back. Those are options too. We'll be here for 5. from here, let your left elbow drop onto your right elbow. Curl up and then find eagle. It's right there, right? So your left arm is on top of your right, and then stretch your elbows out and up and take 5 breaths here. And this sort of counter stretch to the other shoulder openers we've been doing. Two more breaths. And release. Okay. Come forward. Take your right hand forward. Take your left thumbs, or your left fingers, point them back towards you. Push into your right hand and lean back into that left forearm stretch, left wrist stretch, and then come back forward. So you're actually using your right hand to give you a little leverage here to push against, to perhaps get a little more out of that left forearm stretch. Good, and then switch that out. Left hand forward a little bit, right hand back, and then just pushing into that left hand to get that right forearm wrist stretch. Two more. Okay, and then bring your right hand down. And let's try the other side. So you want to make sure you have room. You're going to take that left hand. Remember, we're starting the more intense version, so just come to the top of your left hand. I like to come right fingertips. Push your left hand down. Pull the upper arm bone and your humerus back into your shoulder, and then rotate and take that right elbow up and breathe here. Two more breaths. And then let your shoulder come all the way down. And again, you can turn that right elbow up more or take a different variation if you did in your right arm up or behind your back. And then breathe for 5. Let your right elbow fall onto your left. Roll up to sit for that eagle stretch. Right arm on top of your left. Elbows out and up. Breathe here for 5. And release. Roll out your shoulders. And drop your hips to one side and stretch your legs out in front of you. Now, before we do some seated work, well, this is seated work, but we're going to focus on our feet first. So first one, feet are about hip distance or a little closer. Hands next to you, somewhere that's comfortable. Push your heels out. And then push your toe mounds out into a demi-point. A couple more here. Just really reach through your toes, your toe mount especially, so you feel that inside of your leg tracking a little more intensely as you reach into that demi-point. We'll take 3 more, heels out. You may even be able to lift your heels off the ground and then extend. If that's too much on your hamstrings, don't force it. 2. And 1. Bring your feet together. And we'll do our external rotation now. From your inner thighs, rotate both feet out, starting from the thighs, and at the end, the feet tap down, and then come back up. One more, then adding on. That was 5. We'll do 5 more if you'd like. Extend forward. Use your hands to push down your feet. Only at the end. Movement is still originating in your hip, and then you're just accentuating it at the end. If it's too much to grab your feet, you can hold your calves or not do it at all and just work your thighs there. 2 more. And 1. And back up. Now, take your right foot and just bend your knee, kind of like Janyu, but it's not really about that. Now, you're going to take your left foot, right? And my foot is flexed right now. I'm going to take my left big toe mound. I'm going to imagine with my toes curled back, I'm going to imagine my left big toe mound going to the ground as I turn just my ankle and then pulse it back up. So just stretching, feeling a bit of a stretch on the outside of my left foot here into the ankle as well. Really look for length here, getting those foot muscles warm, extend. 5, 3 more. 2. And 1. Now as I come back up, flex your left foot, take your right arm up, bring your right hand outside of your left shin or maybe grab your foot, and now find your Janyu Shirshasana. Breathe for about 10 breaths here. Every inhale, lengthen your heart forward. And then as you exhale, just soften into that space. About halfway through, inhale, lengthen, keep your left foot flexed, leg engaged, exhale, soften. 4 more. Now, as you curl up, bend your left knee and bring your left shin in front of your right, or you can go into sort of a half lotus position here. Lift your arms up in this cross-legged position. Exhale, walk your hands out, and then just enjoy. If you want ankle to knee, you can take it there. We really haven't done too much hip work, but if that's an easier pose for you, if you want to, or if it's more intense and you want that, go for it. Lengthen your heart. And very important, push your sits bones back here to try to lengthen. So every inhale is finding a little more without pitching forward, but keeping your hips back. And then exhale, soften into that space. Two more deep breaths here. And walk yourself back up. Take your left leg up and cross your right knee over. Bring your left foot outside of your right thigh for a twist. Take your right arm up. Exhale, you can hook your knee or bring your hand outside and find your twist here. Sit up tall as you inhale. As you exhale, navel in and twist. 3 more breaths. Yes, rotate back to center. Take a little counter twist over to the side. And stretch your legs out from there, shake them out. Okay. And then you're gonna bend your left knee in and back. And we're gonna take those foot stretches. So again, flexion in the right foot, and then imagine your big toe mound coming to the ground. You're really just turning your ankle. You're not trying to move your whole leg on this. Just getting that stretch in your outer foot. I often wondered what would happen if we give as much attention and detail to foot exercises as all these other muscles that we care about in terms of aesthetics, right? Our glutes, our chest, our legs, how we want those to look good. We'll do cosmetic things to make our feet look good, but what about the actual exercise? I'll take 2 more here. I don't really care about how my feet look, I just want them to function. Now flex your right foot, turn over your leg, lengthen out, and then fold into Janu Shirshasana here. Again, 5 more breaths. Right foot is flexed. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, just soften into that space. 4 more breaths. Inhale, come on back up. Bend your right knee, and we're going to come into either, again, ankle to knee or just cross-leg position, right shin in front, or into stacking in any manner here. As you lengthen out, push your sits bones back. Again, release into this, and then soften. And 5 more deep breaths here. Walk back up. Take your right leg and cross it over your left knee for a spinal twist. Extend your left arm. Exhale, rotate over to the right. Sit up tall as you inhale. Navel in, exhale, twist. Three more breaths here. and release. Take a little counter twist over across. And back to center. Stretch your legs out in front of you. And let's do a little more for our shoulders and hips before we lie back. So we'll take our right knee, bend it, and then take your right elbow in front of your right shin for Marichasana. You can have your hands out as such and then fold over your left leg with a flex foot. If you want to wrap the bind in front of your shin, you can work there as well. Keep your left foot flexed, lengthen your heart, and then exhale, just release into that space. Three more breaths here. Curl up, bring your left hand outside of your left hip, take your outer right foot with your right hand, pull that hip back, and then extend your right leg out. So little archers in the hips. 3 more. Last one. I'll try to stay up tall, pull back into archers, and then bring your right foot into your left bicep and cradle that leg and shake it out. And then you're going to take your outside of your right foot with your left hand, and as you lie back, you're going to bring it across into a spinal twist. If you need to keep your knee bent, of course, modify that. Three more breaths. Keep your right foot flexed if your foot is hovering off the ground. Even if it's not, if you have a straight leg, flex your foot so you feel that hip pull back, feeling that tension on your outer thigh. That's what we want here. 2 more. Pull back up, half happy baby on that right side. And then this is how you bring your foot behind your head, which I will not be doing, but I like the prep for it. For me, I want to begin by bending my left knee, bringing my right knee to the ground. So you see I kind of prop up. And then I take my elbow inside of my right thigh, bring my right hand outside. And then from there, my left hand, I'm using the support, and then I'm just pulling that foot back with my knee down. Right, now, if you're more flexible than me, which is likely, you can stretch your left leg out, but you want the foot on the ground ideally, because that left hip should be dropping. Right? So just finding what works for you here for a couple breaths. Two more breaths. Okay, release that. Oh, center. Hug your knees in. Give your back a little massage here. And rock on up, and we'll finish off with the second side. So right leg straightens out, left foot is back. Again, you can just work here with your hands out at Marichasana, or wrap around the front of your left shin and find Marichasana there. Flex your right foot and then fold over your right leg. 3 more breaths. Now, as you come up, right hand goes outside of your right hip. Grab the outside of your left foot, pull back into that archers, and then extend your leg out. Inhale. Exhale, 2. 3 more. For 2. 1 more. And then bring it back to archers, and then cross it into a cradle position and rock out on your glute for a moment. Okay, we're going to go into that spinal twist on our back. So my right hand grabs the outside of my foot as I roll down, and then I kick the leg out. And breathe here. So you notice I have the wall. And because this is my injured hip, right, I don't want to push too hard, but it's nice. I really am a fan of walls. Maybe one day I'll do a wall class. It's kind of hard because I have a lip here at the bottom, but using the wall for stretching is one of the greatest things. Take 3 more breaths in your twist. And then you're going to pull that leg back up into a half happy baby. And then again, if you can keep your right leg straight if you have it. Otherwise, I like to bend my knee for this and then rock over to that left knee so my knee comes down. Left hand elbow goes inside onto that hamstring, and then right hand goes outside, and then I just use like a lever, start to pull my foot back. And again, you can try to extend through your right leg. If your right glute is on the ground, right, then you can probably get your foot behind your head. But for me, I mean, where I am is nowhere near that, but I feel plenty of stretch. So I just want to stay here for a few moments. Take 3 more breaths. And release to center. Stretch both legs out onto the ground for a moment. And shake that out. I'm just going to give our lower back a little love here to conclude. And you're going to come into happy baby. Grab both feet or ankles, whatever you can work with here. Okay, and then you're going to bring your feet together into Baddha Konasana on your back. As you inhale, lift your head up and pull your feet down simultaneously. As you exhale, lie back and straddle your legs out wide into a V. A nice back of the leg stretch. Inhale. Find flexion as you come up. And then find extension through your spine and legs as you exhale. 3 more. Last one. And hug your knees in. Let your legs go into Shavasana. And take at least 5 minutes here, maybe longer. Just give yourself a little bit of time here to relax. I will see you on Saturday for a core flow. On July 4th, we're going to keep moving. We don't have other plans, so Thanks for sharing your practice with me, everyone. I'll see you Saturday. Namaste.